Hello everyone, and welcome to my Sister Wives For You channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Sister Wives fans are livid and feel that the Brown family lied to watchers for a decade. So, what exactly did the Browns lie about, and is it a good reason to be angry? Keep reading for further information on what fans have to say about the situation. Sister Wives fans livid over decade-long lie. Viewers started to watch The Brown family over 15 years ago when Sister Wives premiered on TLC. This was a huge hit for the network as it featured a plural family courting a fourth wife. They dealt with birth, a wedding, and a quick but scary move from Utah to Las Vegas. Everything started to change, and patriarch Kody Brown began preferring his fourth wife, Robyn Brown, and her 5 kids. As time went by, the cracks became holes, and the first 3 wives began leaving the family. Even the OG 13 children started to become distant from Kody, and the veil was lifted. After all of this time, fans are speaking up and out about lies that have been spread for over a decade. They feel that Kody and Robyn have always been disingenuous, and it is not editing by any means. This is who they are and have always been, but more than that, no one can be honest. One user had this to say: Robyn cries when it helps her. Meri still holds Kody's secrets. And no one is naming what Robyn's really done. They're still protecting the lie. And then Suki goes on the Sarah Fraser show talking about them like they're misunderstood saints, as if our eyes are wrong. We see what we see. We've watched for years. And it's not editing. It's not television tricks. It's who they've shown us they are. They added that they think the group of Sister Wives has been punking viewers all along. Moreover, it seems like it is time to let the show go and move on, as it has run its course. The truth will never set them free. Sister Wives fans have noticed that Robyn Brown will never own up to anything and won't answer questions that don't suit her. She evades almost everything, which she has done for a while. Even Meri Brown, who claimed she was done lying, is still covering up for Kody and Robyn. Former tell-all hosts tried to push the cast to be open, one example being Tamron Hall. Yet, she was let go, and now Sukanya Krishnan has come in, but fans do not care for her. They think she won't work harder because she does not want to lose her job. So, what else are fans saying about the family and the lies? Robyn's not going to open up because it's her and Kody against everyone. She's not sharing anything with people outside of their house. She's got a shopping problem, and God knows what else. Looks like Suki is finally pushing it though. She's asking questions he and Robyn don't want to answer, and isn't backing down. I think the end is near, and the producers don't feel like they have to coddle them anymore. We were played for a fool. They misled us to advance themselves, and treated us as if we are stupid. Period. They kept the plural family charade on for way too long with the hopes that people would keep watching. As long as people are tuning in, the show will go on. Kody Brown didn't agree with Meri Brown wanting a spiritual divorce. Though Janelle and Christine felt they didn't need to divorce Kody because their marriage was never legal, Meri asked their church for an official split, called a release, in late 2022. When each of us 4 ladies married Kody, it was through our church, she revealed in the September 22nd episode. Obviously, we can't all be legally married, but it was what we called a covenant. So I feel like it's best to terminate that because we're not moving forward with any marriage, and I don't want to be, sealed to him for eternity if he doesn't want me. And I'm in a place that, let's just separate this completely. Kody was resistant to the idea, she added, not wanting to acknowledge the authority of the church leaders. The damage was done so badly that we're not going to reconcile no matter what, Kody explained of his attitude. And so, however, we are made accountable to God. I don't want to be accountable to this church and all their BS. So I'm going to let Meri go and do her thing because if I'm angry at her, it becomes a fight. And I needed her just to go away because it just took forever for her to finally realize it's been done and over for years. Many of Kody Brown's kids aren't speaking to each other. A text message talk over a 2021 holiday gift exchange turned particularly ugly for the 18 Brown offspring. It all went bad, it all went south, explained Christine. Kody and Robyn and their kids were on one side, and they wanted nothing to do with Janelle, me, our kids. And there was a split that happened after this text thread. Robyn's take was that her 3 older kids thought the exchange was emotionally unsafe and said they needed to take a step back from the relationship. But it was never anything about, "We don't want to see you again. We don't want anything to do with you," she claimed. It was just about like, "Hey, this got yucky." For his part, Gabriel is hoping that they could find their way back to each other. "The thing I want most is to just have a relationship with Robyn's children again," he confessed in the October 13th episode. "In middle school, Aurora was my favorite person to hang out with. And in high school, I would always try to hit Dayton up. But I'm not hopeful for a relationship with Dad and Robyn." Robyn Brown's kids never felt welcomed into the family. "I have been told directly, multiple circumstances by multiple different people, that I was not accepted. Aurora insisted of coming into the family when her mom wed Kody in 2010, that I was not their sister, that they didn't consider or see me that way. And her sister Brianna said she felt the parents could have done a better job with, connecting us as a family, and it never really happened." But Christine isn't sure how they could have opened their arms any wider. "Robyn's kids and Robyn were invited to everything," she insisted. "I would just say, just come into the house anytime you want." Meanwhile, she added, her daughter Isabel Brown was very close to Robyn's kids, and Michael T. Brown Padron even lived with them for a stretch. "There were hard times and my kids were frustrated, but they always considered Robyn's kids their siblings just the same." Janelle Brown would do plural marriage again. Kody Brown wouldn't. Gushing about the independence she was afforded, Janelle said of plural marriage, "When it's functioning correctly, you have this amazing family unit that you're part of, a community that you're plugged into. You have a husband, and you have a great relationship with him, and you have everything, right? And then I have all my independence. So to me, plural marriage really was a really great arrangement." Kody, however, wouldn't say "I do" to polygamy again. "Polygamy kills emotional intimacy," he observed on the December 1st episode. "It makes everybody defensive, and I really want an emotionally vulnerable, intimate relationship with a woman, and you're not going to get that in polygamy." Kody Brown started distancing himself from Janelle Brown years ago. To hear Janelle tell it, Kody had a tougher time splitting his love after the family decamped from Las Vegas to Arizona in 2018. When he moved to Flagstaff, Kody found it a lot easier to be away, she noticed on the September 29th episode. "A couple of times I had to remind him that he needed to come to my house," revealing he'd try to beg off because he was tired. She shared, "I'm really tired. I'm like, well, you can rest at my house just as much as you can rest at Robyn's house." Janelle Brown and Christine Brown Woolley's kids didn't love going to Robyn Brown's home. Detailing this separateness her brood felt with Robyn, Janelle claimed, "My children were scolded if they would open up Robyn's fridge." For Christine's kids, though, the issue was that they saw that Robyn and their dad were a couple and he wasn't in our home. And Robyn said her crew certainly felt the divide. "Meri, across the board, was very accepting of my kids and I, but the rest of the family really struggled to accept my kids and I," she shared on the September 29th show. "All we wanted to do was be a part of this family." But Gabriel would claim that he and his siblings went to great lengths to bring them into the fold. "I think that Robyn definitely has a victim complex," he said in the October 13th show. "I mean, to put it bluntly. And I don't necessarily blame her for that. I think that different people do, devise different strategies to keep themselves afloat." However, he continued, "If she actually believes that we were mistreating her or her children in any way when she was constantly getting favorited by Dad, and we were always working on our relationship with her kids, if she actually believes that, then there's no chance of me having a relationship with Robyn ever again." Janelle Brown questioned Robyn Brown and Kody Brown's parenting. Having their dad shuffle between 4 different homes did have an effect on Kody's 18 kids, he detailed during the September 29th show, sharing the time that his and Robyn's youngest, Ariella, who was born in January 2016, clung to his leg as he was trying to leave. "I had to explain to her, there's another wife that needs me, another mommy. I got other kids that need to see me," Kody explained. "And she's just dragging along on my leg screaming, 'Don't leave me. Daddy, don't leave me.' And I'm like, golly man, this is hard." Unfortunately, That's just a fact of plural marriage, insisted Janelle. From the very beginning, she explained, her kids knew that their dad was not going to always be there. I always felt like that Kody and Robyn mismanaged the situation with her children. He couldn't be away for more than 3 or 4 days because Ari just gets so sad, or whatever. I'm like, I feel like that was poor parenting. Through all history of the family, the other kids did it and they're fine. They're well-adjusted adults. Michael T. Padrone had a very close relationship with Robyn Brown, one of the few Brown kids who is still close to both Robyn and Kody and Christine and Janelle. Mom of 3, Michael T. took on the role of peacekeeper during Kody's divorces. Tight with Robyn from the moment she entered the Brown family, Michael T. even asked her to be at the November 2022 birth of her twins Archer and Ace. When Robyn first joined the family, I was trying to figure out who I was, and she made me feel special, and she made me feel seen, Michael T. revealed during the September 29th episode. Robyn was there for me when I needed somebody. She was there for me when I needed somebody to hear me, to love me. And her mom, Christine, couldn't have been more happy. When Robyn came in the family, and it was obvious her and Michael T. had a great relationship, it was everything that I hoped for. Christine shared the October 6th episode. When I was so excited about having a plural family, I was hoping that my kids would have a great relationship with other moms. One of Kody Brown's kids claimed he brainwashed them. Kody feels it's not only his women who subtracted him from their lives. They're purposefully leaving me out of their lives to punish me for a crime I did not commit, he explained during the October 6th episodes, giving his take on his estrangement from some of his older kids. I am only guilty of not falling madly in love with their mothers. What's more, he continued, he think his past spouses are a bit to blame. This disparity in relationship with my children is specifically in my mind because of SD talk, he said. There's this whirlwind of disappointment from the family breaking up or whatever, and it's like, well, blame Dad. Dad screwed up. But while he can share a bit of that blame, he takes umbrance with the name-calling, revealing, specifically, that he was struggling to connect with Hunter, Maddie, and Gabriel. Kody shared that one of his kids replied to a text saying, "You're a piece of trash. I would never speak to you again, anyway." In a different incident, he told cameras, "I've had one of my kids just say, 'You're an a-hole. I'm never talking to you again. You manipulated me, and you brainwashed me.' And it's that anger he's not willing to deal with. I'm not going to reach out forever," he said, saying he thinks his adult children should be doing more to fix things. "I'm willing to make the effort, but somebody else is going to have to be on the other end of that and make some effort too." Robyn Brown was struggling to respect Kody Brown as a parent. For Robyn, watching Kody's separation from his adult children hit far too close to home. "When I was little, my parents got a divorce," she revealed during the October 6th episode. "He lived with one wife in another city, and then my mom lived alone. I remember confronting my biological father saying, 'What happened? Why?' All he really did was just make a bunch of lame excuses as to why he wasn't there for me when I was young, and it just sucked." So, no, she wasn't about to allow Kody's hurt feelings stop him from making an effort. "I'm having a hard time feeling like losing respect for you a little bit," she shared during their explosive on-camera fight, which took place in late 2022. And though Kody acknowledged he could be doing more to mend his bond with his kids, he said he needs to mend his heart first. Saying he feels some of his kids are colluding against me, he revealed, "I'm so angry about what has happened that if I talk to my kids, I'm worried that they'll trigger me with an accusation. I'm too hot-headed right now. All I'll do is more damage." Kody Brown went years without seeing his grandchildren. Though much of the family was in attendance when Janelle and Kody's oldest Logan wed now-wife Michelle Petty in October 2022, they weren't really feeling the love. "You saw Madison take her kids and scuttle them away from me," Kody complained to Robyn in the October 6th episode, adding that his daughter hadn't told him she was expecting her third baby, daughter Josephine, who arrived in February 2023. "She never told me she was pregnant. Frankly, Maddie doesn't tell her dad much of anything with the two rarely speaking. Really, Maddie doesn't have any contact with him." Janelle explained of why her daughter steered clear of Kody at the wedding. "She is very protective of her children. Kody has not been there since Evie was born, and Evie's 3.5. And she didn't want him to just drop in and be like, "Oh, I'm your grandpa," and then be like, "What? Who is this guy?" Kody's take? It's unrealistic expectation for grandparents to be in their grandchildren's lives all the time, he said, referencing Maddie's life in North Carolina, especially if you move your children to an entirely different coast. "I have work and a life in Flagstaff." Kody Brown wanted his kids to apologize to Robyn Brown. While it's clear that Kody and his adult children have very different opinions of their ongoing estrangement, one sticking point is his demanding some sort of mea culpa. After the COVID scare was over and we all went back to our normal lives, we still couldn't reconcile as a family because Kody felt like the boys needed to give an apology to him and to Robyn, especially to Robyn, Janelle shared of her sons in the October 13th episode. "And after it sort of morphed into this, well, they just need to come and talk to me." Kody's issue, Janelle continued, was that he felt his kids hadn't been true to him, and the most precious person in this family who's given her heart and soul has been disrespected or some bull's tea like that, she summed up. And I'm like, whatever, Kody. Yeah, whatever. Gabriel shared a similar stance, describing one conversation with his father. "He kept phrasing it like I owed him an apology," he recounted to Janelle. "Eventually I was just like, hey, unless you're actually ready to have a relationship and fix things, then we're not going to talk anymore." He came back a couple of days later and texted me. He's like, "Hey, I've been thinking about what you've been saying. I forgive you. Please forgive me." I was like, "Forgive me for what?" Kody Brown only sees one of Janelle Brown's kids. Of the 6 children Kody shares with Janelle, he only sees his youngest, Savannah. "It's not frequently, but every couple months he'll call, and they'll go out," Janelle described in the October 13th show. The rest of the kids don't really have much of any kind of connection with him. As for Savannah, who finished from high school in 2023, she feels her 4 older brothers have taken on that father figure role, the teen already confessing to Janelle that she'd tap her siblings to walk her down the aisle one day. "I've talked to Savannah about it, and she's like, look, I just have come to understand that this is who he is," detailed Janelle. "He's going to be kind of that dad who shows up, and we have a lot of fun, and then he's gone. I can meet him where he's at. It's okay." Janelle, however, is less tolerant. "I'm just so upset with Kody," she lamented. "Look, I've seen this happen. I have several women I've worked with over the years who split, and then the father just goes MIA with the kids." Gabriel Brown said he'd be fine never seeing Dad Kody Brown again. Early on in their father-son rift, Gabriel took it very hard because Kody was someone who would take Gabriel with him on business trips, described Janelle, saying that Kody was a totally engaged father up until the past few years. And while Gabriel is somewhat flummoxed over what he did to anger his father, he said during the October 13th show, "I told Dad that if he doesn't change and he can't take accountability, then I just won't ever see him again. And I'm totally okay with that." As Janelle put it, he's at peace that his dad is not in his life. And, that's what I hope for all of my kids. And I think they're all getting here. For his part, Kody also seems resigned to the situation. "I'm really sorry that Gabriel feels that way," he shared in a confessional. "I have reached out to him multiple times, only to get ignored. But it wasn't from a lack of trying on my part." Kody Brown feared Meri Brown would trash-talk him. Meri may have been the last wife to leave Kody, but she officially split their love in late 2022 by requesting and receiving what their church calls a release, on the grounds of abandonment. "I know he doesn't like that word," she noted on the October 13th show, "because he doesn't feel like he abandoned me. I feel like he did." In fact, she feels he basically ignored her until she made the choice to leave so that he could say, "My hands are clean." And Kody didn't totally deny that he had a bit of a plan. "I had moved on a long time ago," he explained in a confessional. "But let's just be honest here. I was afraid of what she would do if I ripped off that Band-Aid. It's because Meri was never loyal to me, ever. That's what I've been worried about. It's just kind of reputation because when you get divorced, your reputation is trashed." Instead, claimed Meri, it was hers that was being tarnished. "It's really just sad that Kody's talking about our marriage the way that he's talking about it," she said. "It feels like the narrative has changed with him, but the things that he's saying about me to other people and the people are believing are not true." Sister Wives fans livid over decade-long lie. Viewers started to watch The Brown Family over 15 years ago when Sister Wives premiered on TLC. This was a huge hit for the network as it featured a plural family courting a fourth wife. They dealt with birth, a wedding, and a quick but scary move from Utah to Las Vegas. Everything started to change, and patriarch Kody Brown began preferring his fourth wife, Robyn Brown, and her 5 kids. As time went by, the cracks became holes, and the first 3 wives began leaving the family. Even the OG 13 children started to become distant from Kody, and the veil was lifted.